Many of us have connectivity issues. What causes this, and can you help us resolve this?
Hi there, I'm John Keirstead from Arctic Spas. I wanted to do a video on connectivity. It seems I've been watching the online forums, and I often comment on there, and we get lots of information and comments. Please keep those coming. They help us decide what to produce in these videos. And a lot of people have been mentioning having issues with the app, or having issues with the portal, or having issues with connectivity in general. The first thing that I want to mention is that the spas and Spa Boy and are designed to operate independent of any sort of internet connection. A lot of places that we install these in the world's harshest climates, and in some of those places they just don't have internet available. And there's those of us that just don't want to be ultra connected to everything and want that disconnection. So pretty much any of the information that you could get from the app, or any of the information that you could get from the portal, you can get from the top side. And I have other videos that talk about how do I find out my pH setting, or how do I find out this, or how do I adjust that. All of that stuff can come from this. So if you are having a connectivity issue, don't panic. You can still go to your hot tub and get that information and still run everything. However, it is nice and convenient to be able to connect to your tub from anywhere. If you go on holidays, or you've got a tub at a holiday home, or you have an Airbnb and you want to check the parameters of your spa, it's nice to be able to control that. It's nice to be able to change your temperature from up to down when you're getting ready to go to the holiday place and you want to bump the temperature up to using temperature. You can certainly do that. So what can cause these connectivity issues? It's complicated. It's a world that's becoming more and more connected in every single way, and really any one of those pieces of the puzzle can cause a problem. So I always have to run customers through questions. Did you change your cell phone provider? Did you change your internet provider? Did you change your cell phone itself? Did your cell phone update? Did your computer's OS change? I just recently went through a Mac OS change, and my banking didn't work on my phone. All kinds of stuff didn't work on my phone because I went through an OS change on my computer as well as an iPhone update on the phone. And boy, some of that stuff just didn't work out, and it took me days to figure out, and I couldn't connect to anything, let alone the Arctic Spa portal, which I use every day. So go through the list of the things that might have changed. The other thing is that more and more our devices are storing information in the cloud. And so because they're storing information on the cloud, we might go through all the processes that your local dealer might be telling you. Well, uninstall the app and reinstall it, or reset, turn your phone on and off and start over, or turn your spa on and off and start over. Well, in some cases what happens is you do that, and then your device immediately goes to the cloud and reloads the same thing that was causing a problem, puts it back in there from the cache. So it's really important that you wipe all that stuff out when you have these types of issues, and be patient. Like, sometimes it's not as easy as it seems, and a lot of times people want to blame the company that makes the spas. Spa Boy is not working now, I can't connect. And it's actually important to recognize that Spa Boy and OnSpa are two different things. You can have OnSpa as long as you have an Eco Pack. You have OnSpa, which means your spas can be connected to the internet. Either through Wi-Fi, it generates its own signal. So you could connect it, Direct Connect. There's a Direct Connect app, which isn't connected to the internet, so it's not sending information back to the Blue Falls or Arctic Spa server, but it's still connecting you wirelessly within the range of this thing's hotspot. So it puts out a hotspot, you connect to it, and you can control certain aspects using the app. If you're actually connecting to the internet as well, you could use the portal or otherwise to control the spa. Oh, And so other things that could have changed. The internet providers themselves, or the cell phone providers themselves, they're always adding more towers and increasing the power of the towers. You know, we used to be like 3G, and then it's LTE, and now it's 5G. And, you know, every time they change this, they change lots of other stuff in the background. And literally, we're talking about millions and millions of lines of code. And sometimes, you know, you heard about bugs, right? Well, you get a bug, and it causes it so that our stuff doesn't work. And here's the thing. None of those major suppliers of cell phones and computers and stuff, they don't call up Arctic Spas and say, hey, we're going to change this thing. It might mess with your stuff. They just change it. And then usually what happens is someone reports, hey, my app's not working, or my thing's not working, or this isn't happening correctly. And that's when we go, oh no, what's changed, right? And then we have to work backwards trying to figure out what they might have changed that might have caused this problem. So it can take us a little while to solve these problems. Here's the other thing. You know, anybody that's actually talked to the factory and had to troubleshoot using the diagnostic aspects of the connectivity knows that these things are reporting every 10 minutes or so back to the factory and logging all this information. And over the years, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of people using Spabway, and all of those things are sending data. And over the years, the servers at Arctic Spas have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you know, they've had to constantly upgrade to the point where Arctic Spas is also looking at using the cloud, because we can scale with Amazon, or we can scale with one of the other providers so much easier because it's all in the cloud. But again, because we're going through this where we're trying to take the information from the existing servers and put it all in the cloud, you know, last I heard they were moving like 500 customers at a time. Well, when you got 100,000 customers, you may find that you're one of the customers that got upgraded, and the upgrade makes it so that things don't work. Be patient. If you have this issue and the upgrade has caused an issue for you in particular, talk to your dealer first. There's a Facebook group, which is the Arctic Spas Expert Advice Group. I encourage you, if you're not a member of that, go on and become a member of that Facebook group and post your questions there. There are other groups out there, but they're not necessarily curated by Arctic Spas experts. Not that customers can't be experts. Some of our customers are really, really familiar, but I've also seen where, you know, a person lists a problem in the Arctic Spas owners group, and there's, you know, 15 answers, not all of which are the same. So you're left with the, oh, well, which person's advice do I follow here, right? I'm confident that if you go onto the Arctic Spas expert group, I believe at this point we have over 120 experts on that group. At any given time, some of those people are online, and you can get your answers answered quickly. And huge shout out to that community. Thank you so much for helping our customers enjoy their spa. And yeah, that's your communication errors. If you get connectivity issues, talk to your dealer. If necessary, post into the expert group. Your dealer will contact the factory as well, and let us know. You know, post it in the comments, and you know, when we see 4 or 5 people having the same sort of problem, we're going to look into it. What we won't do is we won't leave you stranded. We'll solve the problem if we can. Sometimes it might mean your phone's too old, you know, because the company changed something on the phone, and the new phone has an aspect that allows new stuff to happen. And when that iOS changes or the operating system changes for your devices, that can affect this. So it can be difficult, it can be frustrating, but remember, you can do everything right from the top side of your spa. It's designed to operate on its own. So if for some reason you have a connectivity issue or otherwise, don't panic. Spabway's still at work. I'm John Keirstead for Arctic Spas. Thanks for watching the video.